Welcome to the Edified Equity Podcast. My name is Dino, and here we focus on all the benefits of being a passive equity partner in an apartment syndication. You can learn more about us on the web, iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and our award-winning blog on Bigger Pockets. If you find the content helpful, please like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. So today, on episode 50, we are hanging 10 with Lucas Miller. Lucas, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited to have you.
I'm excited to hang 10.
Yeah. Yes, I am excited to hang 10 as well. So let me give a little bit of a brief intro. And actually, let's start with the Hang 10. If this is the first Hang 10 series you plug into, I'm a veteran. And when I was in the service, I was in the Navy. When we had Liberty, we would go surfing. And surfing just took me to another place. It was nature, it was athletic, and it was like when you were surfing, that's the only place you were. I can't explain it. If you're a surfer, you understand it. So anyway, I wanted to take a play off of my passion for surfing and also tie it into what I love when I tap into other podcasts. My favorite part of other podcasts is listening to the guests answer the questions. The stories are great too, but those questions, like when they're kind of picking their brain. So anyway, we hang 10, which is where I take the guest through a series of 10 questions. And we have Lucas as our special guest today. So Lucas is a full-time entrepreneur, investor, and father. And I know from firsthand experience how full-time of a job being a father can be. So his passion is to create passive investment opportunities that allow partners to reach their retirement goals sooner than they have ever imagined. Love it. He has extensive experience with commercial multifamily investing, spending several years this is very interesting, as a lobbyist representing other owners of large multifamily investments. And during that time, he helped save apartment owners millions of dollars through his legislative representation. And now he's focused on building his own multifamily portfolio. So again, Lucas, welcome to the show. Is there anything that you would like to expand further and tell us about yourself?
No, I mean, I've never been surfing before, but I'm really excited. I'm going to live vicariously through your experiences and put myself there to hang.
Yeah. Well, I loved it. So, all right, well, let's take the guest through that experience and start the Hanging 10. So the first question on the Hang 10 series today is, what was your aha moment, or what drove you towards real estate versus doing anything else?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I don't want to be unoriginal here, but I was first exposed to real estate through Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, probably everyone at some point has been there. But unlike a lot of people, it didn't really drive me towards real estate. I sort of tiptoed around real estate for a while, but never really put in the effort to make it a success.
Yeah.
My aha moment was seeing someone that I worked closely with, a bipolar alcoholic drug addict, being my future down the road. Now, you mentioned being a lobbyist. That carries a lot of connotations with what you do for a living. And I was proud of my work that I did, but make no mistake, it's a tough job. Now, I've never really had a problem with drugs or alcohol or anything, but I did have a miserable attitude. Being a miserable person and having a horrible outlook on life is a choice, and I was making that choice every single day.
Yeah.
So I needed to make a change. I needed to get away from that unhappiness, and I turned to real estate and sort of burned the bridges and never looked back. Yeah,
I like it. Well, that's very insightful and an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
So, and I like that. We're in alignment. I mean, Lucas and I know each other, but we're definitely in alignment when you say burn the bridges. Because for me, I mean, we're ultimately, Lucas and I do pretty much the same thing, and I have such a long-term marathon goggle approach view. I don't know what the right word is, but to what we're doing, that if you burn the bridges and you stick around long enough and you work hard, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and being around you, it's definitely opened my eyes to understanding that this is really a long-term approach, and there's no easy money in this. There's no quick money. Money comes and goes, but your reputation and the long-term goals you have are what you're going to be.
Yes, for sure. 100%. Okay, number two, if you could go back and have a discussion with your younger self, what age would you be? What would you say? And why would you say that?
This is a great question. I I thought about this for a little while, and I think I'm going back to 18. And I would convince myself to take a year off of college and explore real estate. And I know that's like hindsight's 2020, but I personally hate the idea of college right now. Now I say that with a degree, an undergraduate degree, and a master's degree, but I went to college for the wrong reasons and wasted a bunch of time. I wasted my professor's time. I wasted my time, parents' time. I wasted a ton of money. And if the college landscape is the same as it is right now, when my kids are ready to go to school, I'm going to encourage them to do the same thing.
Yeah. Hey, again, we see eye to eye on that because for me, it's like, and I've said this before somewhere else, but if you want to be a surgeon, you're going to college.
Oh, yeah.
But
or an engineer or anything that takes
yeah.
a specified education. But political science, come on.
Yeah.
You can do that reading books.
Right. True. Like entrepreneur, it's like it's not necessary. Just like you said, Rich Dad Poor Dad, I talked about that book. I think that book opened many people's eyes. So it's like, don't have to fall into, you go to high school, you graduate, you go to college, you graduate, you get a good job, and you work till you can't work anymore, and then you retire. Yeah. It's like, dude, just saying it doesn't even sound good. Why was
exactly. Yeah.
All right, number three. So who has been the most influential person in your life and career?
Yeah, I've had a lot of really incredible mentors and people I've learned from, people that influence my life that probably don't even know it. But unequivocally, the biggest influence in my success and what I've had has been my wife. And I don't mean it to be cheesy or anything, but I was really a worthless person when we met. Believe it or not, like I was lazy, I was overweight, I was unmotivated, and I had a terrible work ethic. And I met her, and it's taken me a little while, but she's such a positive example in my life. She works hard, she's consistent, and motivates me to be a better person.
Yeah.
And I struggled with consistency in my life. Like I was always jumping from thing to thing, and that's really something she's helped me with.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be anywhere near where I'm at today without her help.
That's awesome. I like that. It's I don't know. Well, I don't know how you got her because
me neither, man. I don't know either.
You're like,
it's still a mystery to me.
But no, that's awesome that you made the right choice. I just talked to someone a few weeks ago, and he's like, he got married. He's to me, what I would consider very young. He's like 20, 24, 26.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew at a very young age, and now he's going into his, he's in his later 30s, but he's like, anyway, I knew at a very young age that like she was the one that I wanted to marry. And he's like, it's the one thing I have no regrets about. So sounds like you guys, similar situation.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Number 4, what has been the most instrumental tool that you use in your business today?
Yeah, I think my phone. It's a simple answer, but hands down, I use my phone for hours a day. I'm sure you do too. I mean, it's a huge distraction that sometimes I need to temper and delete apps and limit my time on things, but I can't operate a business without that phone. And, people are like, oh, you can't spend thousands of dollars on a cell phone. Like, that's crazy. But I'm like, I spend a lot of time on my phone every single day. So, that I don't think I could do it without it. And it's definitely instrumental.
Yeah, for sure. And for what we do as far as, investor relations and, I'm on the phone all day for multiple businesses as well as family. So I get that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm the same thing. It's my phone. All right. Number 5, what has been the most or the best or the most influential book? Now, this does include audio, podcasts, movies, documentary, whatever you want to put in here that has helped you out throughout your life and your real estate business. I know your wife's the person, but was there something else?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot. And, I hate this question, but I like how you added in other media because books are so hard. I could say Rich Dad Poor Dad, but everybody says that probably. Mm-hmm. So I really like the idea of podcasting. I know you do too. I've learned a lot from Tim Ferriss's podcast. And so just random things. Like I never would have been introduced to like Jocko Willink or something and learned about his work ethic, or learned about limiting my time on Instagram, or things that he sort of dials into, and he calls it like self-improvement or quantified self, measuring yourself and how you're performing and trying to improve on that. So, that's really something that's been influential in my life, but also my business.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I'm the same way. I like plug-in, and that's why I added those other medias, because like you say, books, it's a lot of people are going to say the same thing, and that's fine. That means truth is timeless,
Right.
But I'm the same way. I like to plug into the podcast as well, and even some audiobooks.
Yeah. And you drive a lot, like that makes sense, but I work from home. I've got my kids with me a lot, so I can't really like put headphones in and zone out. It's like, but this is really the easy way to do it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Number 6, what daily habits or rituals do you perform that help you stay focused and be successful?
Yeah, I've been struggling with this the past few weeks just because of some personal stuff, but waking up early, just like you, I know you do too. Mm-hmm. Waking up at 4:30, journaling, planning my day, looking at my calendar, seeing what I have going. Taking a few minutes to respond or shoot out some initial emails, and then just getting ready for the morning. Then my kids wake up at somewhere around 5:45, 6:30, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. We make breakfast and then we start our day. Yeah. But, waking up early, everyone's like, oh, that's crazy. Why are you waking up that early? But that's really the only time that I get that's quiet and uninterrupted during the day before they go to sleep. So
I get it.
But
I get it 100%. So waking up early. Number 7, what's the best piece of advice you would give to someone just starting out as a real estate investor? If you met me today and I said, I want to do what you're doing.
Yeah. The longer you're in this business, I mean, you start to realize like, the actual, mechanisms of real estate investing are really simple to grasp. What I believe holds a lot of people back is fear. So my advice would be just don't let fear hold you back. The best thing is in life are on the other side of fear. Yeah. So don't be afraid of making mistakes because you're probably going to make them anyway. Don't be afraid of losing money. If you're doing this long enough, you probably are going to lose some money. But you're definitely going to fail. So just accept it, move on, and figure out how you can make the best choices you can in the moment. But don't let it hold you back. So keeping consistent and staying ultra conservative, even when other people aren't, is really the best advice I could give.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like it. What is one thing that you would have done differently when you first started out in real estate investing?
Well, I did a lot of things. So, I mean, flipped houses, bought small rentals, did some private lending. Like there was a lot of things in there. So skipped everything I did, focus on just making as much money in my W-2 job as I could and pouring it into multifamily syndications. I mean, hands down, this is the best thing I've ever done. So even in real estate investing. So I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but that's what I would do differently.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. I think it's great advice, especially if you're going to do both simultaneously, because you can learn a lot as a limited partner, as a passive. It's a great way to learn it. So if you have
even if you have no interest in multifamily investing at all,
that's true,
or doing it on your own, it's still a fantastic avenue in better than the stock market right now.
Oh, it's a phenomenal alternative investment. Personally, and I'm not saying I'm just saying for me, I'm in alignment with that. I'm not aware of anything else out there that has the same benefits as far as cash flow, tax benefits like you wouldn't believe, and then the profit sharing and refinance or sale or both. It's like,
we're preaching to the choir here, right?
Yes. Sorry, just lost our second. Okay, here we are. We're back on. Yes, we are preaching to the choir. We don't need to convince each other, but it just goes to show like two heads are we're both thinking the same thing, and we're both, in my opinion, we're both right about that.
We're right. Everybody else is wrong.
Well, no, that's why we do what we do, though, is I think, because someone asked me, why don't more people invest in as an LP in apartments? And honestly, it's because the only reason more people don't is because hardly in the scheme of things, hardly no one even knows it's an option.
Yeah. Well, and when they find out about it, they're so overwhelmed with the idea of owning a massive building. At least from the investors I've talked to and the people I've tried to open the doors, fear becomes a huge aspect of that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's scary. That's a huge amount of money. Like, look at all those zeros. In fact, that's kind of the reason why I'm starting a podcast called Fear-Free Passive Investing.
Yeah.
It's interviewing passive investors on what made them take the leap, what gave them the confidence to get over that fear. And so that's really what I'm trying to focus on when talking to new people, is dialing in on what their fears are and how we can address them.
Yes. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. They're afraid. You're right. Number 9, if you had to choose, I love this one. I like to see how people respond. 1 million liquid today. Here you go. There's $1 million, or you get to travel back and you get to take all the knowledge and wisdom and start over and why. But wait, there's one thing as a caveat here. You don't know when you travel back, you don't know what's going to happen to the real estate market in 7, 8, 9. Okay.
Oh,
You
nice.
just get to keep the wisdom.
Nice. That wasn't on the sheet, man. That's a throwing me for a loop. But either way, I would have chosen $1 million liquid. And as much as I really like the idea of going back in time with all this wisdom and knowledge, we made the decisions we made for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I personally believe that God made the decisions for us, and we're really just acting them out.
Mm-hmm.
But going back is more of a fantasy. I'd rather have the $1 million liquid and just passively invest it and grow that. Especially, I love where I'm at today. I love my wife. I love my kids. I really enjoy my life. So
awesome.
Changing things. Plus, I don't know if you've seen the butterfly effect. Like, that's a scary idea to go back and change things. And then you don't know how it affects everything in the future. So
you don't.
We're just going to play it easy. $1 million.
Yeah. And I like that. Hey, I tell you what, if, like you said, I'm pretty happy where I am right now. And I think $1 million would just maybe knowing what and know where to put it would accelerate things. But like right now where you are with your wife and your kids and your life, you're happy, you've already won.
Right.
That's ultimately what it is. So, congratulations. That is awesome. Because there's a lot of people out there, unfortunately, that aren't happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we know what you want for Christmas.
Yeah. This podcast takes off. $1 million now.
And here we go with 10. So what currently excites you? This is an easy one. What excites you and what projects are you working on?
Yeah. Really, it's generic to say it, but my business really excites me. I wake up every single day excited to do something in my business. Now, I'm not saying I enjoy every part of it like that.
Yeah.
There are things that are not enjoyable, but I love this job more than anything I've ever done, including other real estate investing. Like even flipping houses and getting the massive paychecks, I really like this better. And so that excites me every single day. What I'm working on is, I've got a deal that I'm raising money for, but we're not going to talk about that because of SEC.
Right.
Just trying to grow the business and help more people.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, again, you won. If you happy with your life, your family life, your home life, and then on top of that, you love what you're doing, even like you're saying, like, I know this is a journey. This is a 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 year journey for me, but like, I'm loving every day of it. It can't get better.
Yeah.
So that is awesome. And, all right. So what I want to do before, close out the show here, is there anything else you want to add? How can we get a hold of you? Anything you need to talk about before I close this out?
No, I mean, if you want to get in touch with me, my email is Lucas, Lucas, at bannockcapital.com, BANNOCKCAPITAL.com. Or, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Bigger Pockets, pretty much everywhere.
And I'll have all of the everything that we communicate back and forth with as well in the show notes.
Nice.
So you can look it up there if you're driving and listening to this. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and close it out. If you found this information helpful, whether you're here for the educational content or the entertainment, if you know someone having difficulty finding the right place to park their money, please tell them about this podcast or this YouTube channel if you're watching there. I don't have anything to sell, but I am on a mission, and I will continue to deliver quality consultative educational content on a routine basis. This is Dino Pierce and Lucas Miller. Dino, CEO of Edified Equity, signing off. Make it a great day. You certainly deserve it. Goodbye.
Thanks, Dino.
Thank you.